We go around this way or something for a little order? Yeah.
Doc, I read the book. It's a fantastic book. How tough was it for you to write this book? Because there's a lot of personal stuff that's in there. Your childhood, from playing days. Was this something like that was like maybe cathartic to you to write this book and just like clear everything for you? You know, when you wrote the recovery.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a situation where obviously some things that as we was doing the book, I was like, I don't know if I want to really put that in there. And I said, you know, I'm gonna be honest. My sponsor was telling me you gotta give away secrets. You want to secrets your secrets. And being a public figure, I figured, okay. At first, I talked to my mom and the older kids about it. And they said, you know, it's gonna help you help others. You have our blessings. So I did it, and then part of me was thinking, well, I don't know how I'll be accepted. But then I said, wait a second. Right now, my life is on the line. So it's just something, just in case you need to say. Okay, appreciate it. So I said, you know what? I have to do this, and I have to put myself first now. So that's the only way I can beat up my kids and everyone else. So part of what gave me the courage to do the book was I did Doc Gooden. So the reason I did that was because I was always in denial, and everyone had truly admit that I was an addict, you know, and that I had disease of drugs and alcohol. So when I got to the point that I have to come through this, I figured one way to come clean was when I got the offer on the show was not necessarily, I wasn't into the drama part of the show. I was there for recovery and also just to tell and say what happened in my own words. By doing that, it gave me courage to do the book and come clean with everything. Once I finished the book, I was glad I did it. It was great therapy for myself. And it's no greater feeling that when people come up there, I told them to take a picture, say, man, that was really inspirational. They say, you know, I have a daughter, a brother, a friend that's in recovery, maybe it's supposed to help them. That's what it's all about, you know, number one, helping myself, and then helping others.
Have you spoken to Harvey or Wheeler or any of the other pitchers to give them advice on how to deal with the big stage in New York?
I look forward to doing that. I haven't had the opportunity yet because it's like the time I come to the game, Harvey's pitching, then a lot of pitchers, and I know I was very superstitious, so I don't want to bother doing the game, but hopefully soon I can just talk to them and pick my brain and just share my experiences with them.
First of all, my first memory of you pitching was the Yankees when you threw that no-hitter against Seattle, and I mean that was one of the coolest things I ever saw. I'm jealous that I never got to see you pitch live as a New York man. I was too young, and seeing your highlights, you were amazing. So I can tell you that first. When Johan Santana threw that no-hitter, what was going through your mind? You're saying all the great men pitchers, including yourself, that had been here, that had come so close, and then Santana finally puts the franchise over the top and gets that no-hitter. What was going through your mind when you heard that or saw that?
Yeah, I was actually watching on TV. I was flicking back and forth for the Met game. It was an NBA playoff game. I want to say it was the Heat, and it had been the Celtics, I'm not sure. I was watching the game again, going back and forth, and we got like in the 6th inning. I said, wait a minute, I was shocked. And so I just stuck it in the game. When we finally got it, I was happy, number one, for him. I know him personally. He's a great guy. And going through the surgery he had and coming back from that and being able to do it, not only do it as a man, but do it here at home. I thought it was great for him, the organization, and obviously the fans. Thank you. The fans as well. So it was great to watch on TV, and you couldn't have to a better guy. But as you mentioned, you would have thought with the Seavers, Ryan, all these guys that pitched here, it never happened. So for him to finally get it, I thought it was great.
We know how much you love Harvey. I mean, I think we all love Harvey. But, I mean, with first couple starts that Wheeler's had, you've probably gotten a chance to take a look at him up here. But what do you like about him so far?
I like the way, I think he's, number one, I think he's going to be a great pitcher once he gets settled in to where he knows he's pitching in the 5th game. The first start, pitching against Atlanta, I watched on TV. That's a great lineup. And plus the pressure, your first start, I mean, Harvey just pitched right before you. Pitched a great game. And then you got your family and friends there. Tremendous amount of pressure. So I understood kind of, the walks he had in the game, but still kept his composure for the most part. And then the second start, I thought that it was too strong the first couple innings with the extra amount of rest. And then flying, the Vegas flying back, I don't think that was fair for him. And plus he's got the drilling going. So I think once he gets in the routine, pitching in the 5th inning, he's going to be fun to watch as well.
No? Doc, one thing I think we've all noticed with you and Harvey is that he's someone like you is a power pitcher right off the bat, and coming up with the relatively finished repertoire you had, how does that change how you dealt with coaches' advice, et cetera, at the major leagues? How much did you already know? How much did you feel you could learn, and what would you take in or reject as people were trying to talk to you?
I think for me, I was very lucky that my dad was a baseball fanatic. He was really, I was talking, he was really my first pitching coach, where he started training me and teaching me about pitching at 10 years old. When we go out and do all these drills about mechanics, arm angles, all that stuff. He taught me to grip on the curveball, taught me to grip on the fastball. And I carried that until, high school and then when I got drafted. And then again, when I got to the majors, I was very fortunate working with Mel Stottlemyre, who was a pitching coach. Mel was a great guy that communicated well. If something wasn't right, he didn't try to make a change to say he'd work with me or anything like that. But also, like when I was having success early, he always challenged me to do better. He always said, still room for improvement. He basically made me a student of the game, because he would quiz me the games I was pitching about hitters. Why do you do this? Why did you throw this pitch? So I was very lucky to have my dad, number one, and then have Mel once I got to the big level. And then, when I went to the Yankees, Mel was there, because at that time I was a totally different pitcher. But to have Mel there while I was making that transition was very important.
Thank you.
Obviously, between 1994 and 2008, you were pretty much estranged from the franchise. When you came back in 2008 for the Shea Goodbye ceremonies, what was really going through your head? I mean, were you extremely nervous where you did not know what the fan base was going to do?
Oh, you're right on with that. I remember I had a friend that was trying to get me to come back, and at that point I was like, well, I don't know. He said it would be great. So I was undecided, and the day before that, Gary, my nephew, was playing with the Tigers, and he was going for a 500 home run. So myself, my sister, my mom, and his kids, we all flew from Tampa to Detroit to watch that, see if he'd get it. And the same friend, he flew there. So he was like, you're going to come, you got to come. I got your ticket, you got to come right now. I was like, I don't know. And part of that was the way I left in '94, suspension, not knowing how I was going to be accepted. It was very tough, and I was very nervous to come back there, because I hadn't been back to Shea since '94, not knowing what to expect, more so from the fans, organization. Then I just finally said, you know what, all right, I'll go back. And then that morning, getting up and thinking, man, then it started raining. I mean, as we watched the game, part of me was like, man, I hope to get rain out. We don't have to go out in the field, But what I knew it was okay was it was myself, Tom Seaver, and I can't remember who else, but we was out in the front of the stadium by the Jack Robinson Rotunda. And as we were walking in, some people were looking, I'm sorry, at Shea Stadium. Shea Stadium, as we was walking in the front of the stadium, we did this interview, and it was walking, and people was hanging out, and they saw me. And they, saw me with the jersey on, they started clapping, the stadium started shaking. That was like unbelievable. I actually got cheers and teared up to go in there. I felt like, wow, this is okay. And then you almost wish that I came back, even if it was just to watch some games or something. Then doing the introduction, when they announced my name, I came out of the bullpen from left field, walking on the line, and then the way the fans was going. They told me everything was all right, and they forgave me when things happened. That was just, that feeling, like I get goosebumps now, just thinking about it, would never leave you what the fans did. That meant more to me than anything.
Thank you very much.